Good morning, good evening, good afternoon, Earthlings. Hope everybody's having a fantastic day on planet Earth today, or as good as can be expected. I'm getting a bit pasty now. It's so funny because everywhere we go, people say, "You're very dark. Where are you from?" Remember the scandal and the kick-off last year with Lady Susan Hussey? When we went to Hendon, actually, Sheldon, if you go on Graham's channel, Sheridan, the expert on the Spitfire that Graham sat in. Sheridan is from Bermuda, and he's black. And they have a kind of American accent from Bermuda. I've never met anyone from Bermuda before. And that's what provoked me to say, where are you from? Because you sound American. And while Graham was doing, wetting himself, doing his little video in his cockpit, Spitfire, Sheridan said to me, "Where are you from?" And I said, "We're from Gibraltar." And he went, "I thought so, because you're both really dark." And I thought at the time, can you imagine if that was turned around the other way? But I mean, obviously Sheridan doesn't think like that, we don't think like that. And quite a few people have said to us along the way, where are you from? You're so dark, but you've got an English accent. So I just thought I'd mention that for what it's worth. But I am getting a bit pasty now. Can't wait to get back to well, there won't be any sun when we go back, because well, you can sunbathe down there if you get a nice day in December and January. Right, let's get stuck into it, because there is so much. So I have made some notes. I'm a bit more organised today. It seems to me that the shit is hitting the fan left, right and centre with Harry and Meghan. I mean, really, and yes, I did watch Lady C last night. I watched the first half. I haven't quite got through the next half. Haven't had much of a chance to watch a lot of the YouTubers because we're out and about all the time. Invictus, let's start with that, because I've got a whole long list. So it would appear, the way it's coming across to me as just a viewer, a reader, an observer, a citizen, right, a nobody, this is my opinion, it would appear the shit is about to hit the fan with Invictus. Because in the last few years, I haven't really seen Harry and Meghan give much attention to Invictus outside of the games. When it's the games, oh yeah, there's a fashion show, there's an opportunity to dress up in, I don't know, a load of jewellery that looks like it came from Ratner's. Oh, we all remember that, don't we? Well, for those of you who are not familiar, there used to be a very, very well-known jewellery chain here in the UK run by Robert Ratner. And it was very popular, but I never really liked it. It was really cheap stuff, like very, very fine chains of gold, very fine gold bracelets. It was basically a way that people could afford to buy jewellery that was sort of gold. I don't know what carat they used, and he actually won an award. I think he gave a speech at the Albert Hall. And he said, someone asked me, what's the secret of my success? And he said, basically, it's Ratner's crap. I sell crap to idiots. And that was the end of his business. It's one of those sort of famous last words things, isn't it? Poor old Robert Ratner. Anyway, that's what Meghan reminds me of. The people who wanted affordable jewellery. They're like little skinny chains, little skinny bracelets, little rings. And it sort of reminded me, because Lady C was talking about, why does the woman spend $10,000 on a dress and wear this sort of Ratner's crap kind of jewellery? Why doesn't she get something decent, a decent... That is something that Wallace Simpson had a large jewellery collection. I'm not sure it was really to my taste. The woman loved to put rubies, sapphires of all different shades, because a ruby is a sapphire, it's a red sapphire. She liked to put like all colour spectrum of the rainbow jewels all in one piece. We have a shopping channel in Spain and they sell a lot of that. They go, oh, look at this beautiful ring, it's got every colour of the rainbow. And I look at it and think, did you have to put all the colours in? So yeah, they've been turning up, doing a bit of curling. The photographs of them, oh boy, of them at that Canadian curling thing, supporting Invictus. There's one in particular where she's looking at something and like this. and he's looking somewhere else, like this. And when you see people watching a football game or something, or tennis, they're all like, whoa, they're following the ball, they're following the action, or like tennis is like this. They're looking in two different ways, and that to me, they're both like, shit, you know, proper penny for your thoughts, or $28 million for your thoughts, whichever way you want to look at it. So a couple of top bigwigs have left, CEOs of I don't know what, because I'm not an expert on Invictus, but one of them, I believe, got a tap on the shoulder from Our Late Majesty and has been involved for quite a long time. Whistleblowers are talking to the Daily Mail, apparently. So I feel a story is brewing there. Definitely. Who pays for their security when they go there? Who pays for their hotel bills? Bearing in mind the hotel that Graham and I went to, and thank you all very much for joining the live from I can't believe we got away with that, actually, going live from Raffles 5-star hotel in the drawing room and being served English tea. The staff were just so excited that I think it was 250 of you were watching. They were like, oh, that's awesome. The thing at Raffles is they're all so proud to work there, and the love and care. But £25,000 to £70,000 a night. So, I mean, when you realise that that's the type of accommodation Harry and Meghan are staying in, who pays that bill? And if Invictus runs for 7 days, it's perhaps £70,000 a night. Eek! You know, that's going to run to a lot of money. I mean, I just couldn't believe it. Worth every penny. If I was a billionaire, I'd pay it. Definitely. But I'm not a billionaire. But weren't they lovely, giving us a tour for free? You know, they just volunteered and said, can we show you where we work? Can we show you our beautiful hotel and tell you some of the story? It's just marvellous. Absolutely marvellous. So yeah, the Invictus, I feel there's something brewing. I mean, they haven't shown an iota of interest in Canada in all this time. It's almost like they're retracing their steps from whence they came. Harry's court cases. I mean, I've got a list. So that Invictus was number 1. Harry's court case has basically come to a crashing stumbling block. I understand that his solicitors have written to the defendants and said, would you mind awfully handing over some evidence so we can sue your clients? Because we've been told we're not allowed to use the evidence because it's protected by the Levinson inquiry. It was given in good faith. In order, as I understand it, the newspapers were asked at the time of the Levinson inquiry, would you be willing to give us information on the understanding that it will never be made public so that we can understand exactly what's gone on and the depth of all of this? And so various newspapers did this, presumably the Daily Mail was one of them. And Harry and his team and the other claimants, asked the court, can we use that privileged information? And the judge went, no, because it was given in good faith on the understanding it would never be made public. And there'd be an enormous loss of trust in the justice system if we did that for you. Even if you think being a royal prince gives you like alto privilege to every other pleb on planet Earth. So Harry's cunning plan, and it is a cunning plan from the Book of Blackadder, and Baldric himself, is to ask the defendants to give him the evidence to sue them. That's the cunning plan. The defendants, of course, have said no. So he's got another cunning plan, and his plan C, D, E is to go to the UK Parliament and change the law on the Levinson inquiry, otherwise known as lobbying the government. Isn't that what he's been doing in the United States? Interfering with your constitution, your First Amendment? Isn't that bonkers? The Aspen Institute, hasn't he been interfering and lobbying in America? Oh, lobby here, lobby there, let's see. I mean, he's a prince of the realm, people. Don't you know who you're dealing with? Harry and Meghan are so important, aren't they? They're above the law. Didn't you know? Right, let's go on to the next one. Now, this is very interesting. As we've been bombarded by more news items, as you know, over the last few months, all these rumours of Harry wants to move back to the UK, Harry wants to buy a house, Harry's wasn't invited to King Charles's birthday, Harry this, Harry that. And I've said in all my videos, I don't know who's leaking this, doubt it's King Charles's side, doubt it's the palace, are the newspapers just making shit up? Well, a lot of these newspaper articles have said that over the last few months, it's been Harry's camp that have been briefing them. They've actually put that in print in quite a few articles. It's Harry's camp that have been keen for the public to know he wasn't invited, for the public to know that there was a phone call, for the public to know there's going to be another phone call, for the public to know about them wanting to go to Sandringham for Christmas. They've explicitly said that in quite a few articles. So the press are not even shielding their source there. They're like, Harry's PR team. Interesting they don't say Archewell or Harry and Meghan, which again makes me suspect that Harry and Meghan are two separate entities and they could have different briefing teams. It's certainly something to consider. The state banquet yesterday, of course, we've got the president and his wife of South Korea. We have just seen a motorcade go past where we are. I can't actually say where we are. We're central. And that one of the cars was like a Rolls Royce and it had a flag on the roof, which was the South Korean flag. So that is always exciting to see one of these motorcades. Catherine showing a bit of leg yesterday. Fantastic. And looking equally beautiful in the, what was it? It was the Queen Mother's tiara that she wore. I was a little disappointed. I think it's Strathmore tiara. I was disappointed because I really want to see Catherine in the Vladimir tiara. Yeah. I mean, maybe it'll be Camilla because Camilla's the Queen, but I just sort of, I think you all know why, don't you? I think you all know why. But I mean, if it was on Camilla, that'd be pretty good too. Might make someone pea green with envy because I am convinced it was the Vladimir she wanted. I don't believe it was the one that Eugenie wore to her wedding. I just don't think so. I could be wrong, but I've always felt it was the Vladimir, and I think the Queen would have said, that's a bit of a flaming cheek because that is a senior tiara. It's getting on for a crown. And that's another reason that I think Markle wanted it, because I think she has delusions of grandeur, possibly. I could be wrong. And my final point. Being in the UK, I get to watch UK TV, so I see Susanna Reid, who's always really irritated me with the way she artificially sticks up for Meghan and Harry. Right. Now, I don't know who the lady was they had on their show, but they put a poll to the audience. Harry and Meghan have made it known that they would like to attend Christmas at Sandringham with the family if they receive an invite. They're very unlikely to say no. So they were discussing this and they put a poll to the viewers to say, do you think that King Charles should invite them to Christmas? Forgive and forget and kissy make up? Or do you think no, because they'll probably record everything, and even if they don't record everything, they'll repeat it and blab to journalists such as, I don't know, Omid Scobie, Gayle King, Oprah Winfrey, although Oprah was at that thing with her the other night and she wasn't talking. I don't see any pictures of Meghan and Oprah. Did you? Maybe I'm wrong. So the result of the poll was something like 23% said, kiss and make up, it's the time of goodwill and Christmas. 64% said absolutely not, and I'm one of the 64%. And Susanna Reid really gets up my nose. Now, they had another lady on who was a guest, and I've no idea who she is. Woman of colour, and struck me as the type of person who demands an apology. And even if you apologise, that's not good enough. You need to sell your house. You need to destroy your family. You need to be whipped in public. Even that's not good enough. And she said, now is the time of forgiveness, Christmas, goodwill, and they should be invited. Oh, really? When the boot's on the other foot, is it? Well, I'm going to be team not good enough. and it is blatantly obvious to me. This is my opinion. Harry and Meghan couldn't give a toss about a relationship between children and cousins. They've run out of money. They want money. That's what I think. I'm really leaning he's in debt, big time. She's not getting any offers, as I've said many times before, even before she didn't get offers. Even when she got her Spotify and Netflix thing, I have said from the beginning it would be a disaster because I think she's boring, she's banal. I see she's been to some other thing. I honestly can't even be bothered to look up the name of it. It's somewhere in Canada. They're still in Canada. She goes here to this boring event I never heard of. She wears jewellery that's very banal, boring. It's forgettable. She wears clothes that are beige, beige, beige. Even though I thought it was the evil royal family. Oh, wasn't Catherine in bright red yesterday when she was showing a leg? Yeah. Doesn't Camilla wear bright blue all the time? Yeah. Didn't the Queen wear bright colours? Doesn't Princess Beatrice and Eugenie wear bright colours? I'm pretty sure. Yeah. And the Duchess of Edinburgh, she wears bright colours. So, that must have been bullshit yet again. No, we are seeing the approach of the end, and in my experience with people who they perceive themselves to be with their own PR, the nearer the U-bend flush of the toilet comes, the louder the screams usually. So, might be in for some Christmas treats. I don't like to sound mean on that, but I do still, very inconveniently, remember Wally and what they did to her. And that's just Wally. What they've done to Samantha, what they've done to Thomas, what they've done to a lot of people. And the lies, the Netflix thing, the fake tweets, the picking on the Duchess of Sussex. Yes, I remember it all. Omid's bitchy tweets. Christopher Boozy's bullying bitchy tweets. Sarah Data's venom, and the active sugars that are out there right now that Meghan refuses to denounce while she's kissing up to Marcus Sussus, her fairy godbrother, who's trying to make, opportunities up poles, shall we say. Anyway, enough from me. Thank you very much for listening. I don't know when I'll get a chance to do the next video because we're running here, running there, we are running, they seek him here, they seek her there, we're running around all over the place. There is so much to see and do. We will have a big catch up, hopefully tomorrow or in a day or two. Thank you very much for listening.